in the acceptance of the fate of their language and culture, Mr. Gada wishes that the same predicament should not befall their history. And in that spirit, he took a pen and a paper.
I've written a book about the history of Abamuhuru, their culture, and the others, although it has not been published. I've done the manuscript, it's there. In fact, I can even bring it to show you, so you can see it. Only the publishers, in fact, I need it because of lack of finance, so some publication. If I could find anybody, it would be very good for not only for Abamuhuru, but for historical purposes, countrywide. I'm still trying to find, but I can't because of finance. If you know anybody who can do it, then it would be informative for others. This is the book. The title is The History of Abasuba of Muhuru Bay, in bracket Abamuhuru, their origin and culture. And then who are the question, who are the Abasuba? Many people ask about the Abasuba, but they don't know. Abasuba, how they are. Then the origin of Abasuba. How did they originate and from where? Then we have migration and settlement. Then I have the clans and sub-clans of Abamuhuru. And then after that, the social and cultural of Abamuhuru, cultural setup of Abamuhuru. Then the leadership system, how the Abamuhuru are their leaders and how they were. Leadership and administration system of Abamuhuru. Then I came to formation of political movement in Kenya. Then movement of Abamuhuru and in Muhuru land, the environment and the people in history and something like that. One fortress, where to hide. And this is Mwarachi Hill, and beyond you can see some of these rocks on top of each other. So on the other side there's a lake, so there were caves there where our people used to hide. And the fortresses, these are the traces. So most of the stones have been removed by people. The ruins. So in this one, this is it's called Kitagunga. Kitagunga. If you go to Kitagunga, also you will find there's still some fortresses there and gates. Some of them are still there.
And the main inspiration why he chose to write about their history.
I used to say with Wazees, and they used to tell me stories about. Then I became interested in knowing. Well, what made me is that after getting this history of where we came from, this one day when I retired from service, we formed an organization called East African Organization for Lake Management. So we used to go around the lake. It was an East Africa one, a regional. So we traveled from place to place in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. So one time we went to Budalangi area, Port Victoria. So when we reached Port Victoria, or Imbo, which I said, then I heard of some names like Goebei, Osieko, which I was being told that where we came from. Then I started finding out. Then we went to Port Victoria. That is where I found places like an island called Sumba Island. Now, Sumba Island, we have Sumba here. We have Sumba here. Then went to Port Seal. Then we got a beach, a place called Sisenye Beach. We have Isenye here. Now, my mind started recalling what I was being told, that what I got was true because I see here that it must be where we came from. Then I started doing now research to get it documented, because not many people had that knowledge, and I thought this information is going to disappear because now nobody, the wazirs have gone. There's none who has got that information. That is why I thought of writing it, making it in a book form, to remain for the future generation to learn. In fact, most of our cultures have been eroded. What we used to do is not being done, in the sense that, intermarriage with the Luos have done a lot of damage. Even now, the majority of our young men don't even know Kisoba, and in fact, they don't like it because they have been used to the Luo. So those have eroded our culture now. And I wrote this particularly so that those who will be interested can now go back to start tracing where our culture, and then start to learn. This is why I wrote this, so that people who are interested will in the future come to know where we came from, what we were, and what we were doing.
The cultural practices that are currently outdated are female circumcision, which has been entirely stopped, and male circumcision, which is currently done in hospitals, a practice the Abamuhuru called Esaro and held so dearly.
In fact, Esaro is one of the culture of Abasuba, particularly Abamuhuru. We really honored that culture. Now, Esaro made people to be, what do I say? It was a sort of training. It was a training for people, because during Esaro, Esaro was done outside, and Esaro made the people to become brave for women, for men. Esaro, apart from that, was it made us to even to keep secrets, because during the time you were trained, it took about 3 months. That is a period of training for Esaro, and then when you now came as an adult, very disciplined. One of them was a disciplinary action was done there. People were disciplined there. So when somebody came out of Esaro, was a very disciplined and polished person, somebody who is very responsible, who can be responsible to lead even to the people. This is where, I would say, in short, this is where a training for the people was being done. Now, we also had Esaro for women, women's circumcision, which is no longer there. So those are the things, main things that Esaro did.
Another common practice was polygamy, which the retiree recollects among other terms we sought to know in Abamuhuru dialect.
So what is home in Suba?
Home. Omugi.
Huh?
Omugi.
Omugi. Is it different from the Yeka?
Yeka. Now Yeka, when you say home, is a home like this. Yeka now, when you are outside, you say now, I'm going home. Ndagenda Yeka.
Ndagenda Yeka.
But a home setup is Omugi.
Omugi.
Okay. So are there people who are still speaking the Suba language
Yeah,
purely.
they are there. Yeah, it's still spoken. And there are those who still know it fluently. The Wazirs particularly. And a few young men. Yes. They are still there. In Muhuru particularly, they are still there. Even in these books, there are some of the Suba languages, Suba Nini dialects. I mean, Suba words written here.
So God is
Enonkwe.
When I want to say I love God.
Anchire Nonkwe.
Anchire. Enonkwe.
Anchire Nonkwe.
Oh yeah. Nataka kula.
Nataka kula. I want to eat.
In Suba.
Yeah. Nataka kula. Ndatuna kuria.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Okuria, you can use okuria. Or in other words, in others, there's a synonym that okuragira, ndatuna kuragira. Au ndatuna kuria.
Oh, what is ndarara?
Ndarara. I'm sleeping.
Ndaria.
I'm eating.
Oh yeah.
Ndarara, I'm sleeping.
Thank you. Is it so close to Kuria and Kisii?
Yeah. We are much closer to Kuria and also Kisii. But Kisii is some words of Kisii are quite
different,
not very close. And again, the Kisii dialect is faster, but Kisuba is slower. And we are close to the Bakuria.
What of the Maragoli?
Maragoli also. You know, Maragoli are not Baloyas. Maragoli are relatives to the Bakuria, Bakisi, na Basuba.
Do you have some similarities in culture with the Maragoli and maybe language a bit of it?
Language, yes. When a Maragoli speaks, I can pick many words.
Oh,
yes. When a Maragoli speaks, I will understand.
So do you think the Maragolis know that they are not part of that cluster of people?
I don't know whether they are, but I think they know. They know.
Okay.
I know they know. Although they are now within the lawyer area, they are part of the lawyer.
Okay.
But originally, they are on our side.
Some of the historical sites, especially the caves, presently serve as shrines for religious groups and a meeting point for the elders when they want to address pressing community issues.
So we want to leave your home. How do we say bye? Riti, bye.
Ekurinde. Ekurinde, ebarinde.
Ekurinde, akulinde. Mungu akulinde.
Ekurinde. Enonkwe kurinde.
Okay. Mungu akulinde. May God protect you.
Yeah. Enonkwe kurinde.
Thank you, asante.